We're in the Glass House Hotel in Edinburgh, and bizarrely this hotel is right next door to the theatre. If we walked from the front of this hotel to the venue, it would take about 10 seconds. Yeah. But unfortunately, obviously, everybody's arriving now because it's 6:45, so we've got this back route. Thank you. Which is quite exciting, you know? You know, like in films where they run through the kitchen. Do you know what I mean? Someone holding a gun. It feels a bit like that. And we kind of, thank you, we're going to end up going around the back, don't we?
-5. So you're here to make sure he doesn't get mobbed?
Yeah, just show him the way.
So I don't get raped.
Yes.
On the way.
Raped and pillaged.
So far, no one's made an attempt, have they? Yeah.
We've been wishing for it, but...
Yeah, I know. No, it's just so I don't get lost, really. I just go quite quiet because I'm just trying to control my anxiety. But I get anxious about things like meeting the people afterwards. Just like I'm going to let them down. Hello. Do you know what I mean? Because you think, oh, I hope I live up to people's expectations. And they sort of want you to be really funny, and sometimes you're not.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, because people have just seen you on stage and they've been laughing and enjoying you, and I don't know. And then you think afterwards you're just quite tired sitting there signing some autographs, and I just feel like people are a bit disappointed that I'm not still in character or something. You know?
At what point between, where are we, April now, and you're doing this swim in July, what point will you learn to swim? They're giving you swimming lessons so that have you gone into the water yet? And
No, I don't know how to swim yet, so I've got to first learn how to swim.
I remember at school, at primary school, when you used to get given certificates, there was a little fat girl who was given the 5 metres swimming certificate.
But we used to have a thing at school where it was in my junior school, and you'd have different races, and one of the races was the wade, which was people who couldn't swim and they just waded across the water, which was quite nice, so no one got left out. So if you really couldn't swim, you just waded across.
I won the glide. Didn't you love the glide?
What's the glide?
The glide! It's that.
Oh, what, the dive?
No, it's like you're in the water to start. You kick off and you just do that.
Oh, see how far you can go.
Yeah, without doing that.
Oh, okay.
And just keep going.
I remember that, yeah.
I won the glide. What is your greatest fear about it?
Failing publicly, and then people not realising that it was really hard, thinking that I'm just some sort of fool who didn't put effort in.
I remember when we met the man who'd swum it 804 times, or what has he done it, 30?
Quite a lot of times.
Yeah. He was talking about what he was eating on it, and it was always soup, he was telling me, or us. And he was saying I'd have a bit of oxtail, and an hour later I'd have some mulligatawny, then I'd have some Scotch broth. And I thought, was swimming the channel just a sort of opportunity to have old-fashioned soups? Because now you'd have Thai chicken, wouldn't you?
That would be nice, but it's got to be something that goes down quite easily.
Crisps?
No, crisps would be a bad idea. That's why I think something like soup. I don't want anything I'm going to have to chew and digest because I'm in the water, and that's going to be weird.
Crisps is a bad idea because you need 2 hands to open the pocket.
Yeah.
Will you be stopping for a wee at any point?
I think you just have to hold on and just hope that you don't need to go. But I mean, I'll have cameras on me. What if I need a poo at some point? I mean, what? I mean, I'll have to go. I suppose I'll have to say, can you stop filming for a second? Because I don't think people need to see that, do they?
A wee you could do and blame it on the fish, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But a poo?
A poo, because it'd be awfully embarrassing, wouldn't it? Especially if it followed you around.
Well, you do have to...
But you were probably there, Matt, when we were having the discussion with Kevin in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Because Kevin just sort of said something like, is there anything you've ever wanted to do? And I said, I've always wanted to swim the channel. And he goes, you can do it next year for Sports Relief.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really...
No, and I was thinking...
I hadn't really had a time to sort of
wish
go...
you hadn't said that.
Why didn't I say something like, meet Helena Christensen? Which is something I would really like. In fact, much more than Swim the Channel.
Yeah.
I would like to meet and make love to Helena Christensen, Kevin.
see.
You can do it next year for Sports
Yeah,
Weekly.
you know for next time, don't you?
Do you find you're starting to slip into character now
No.
the week's going on? Though?
No, never. Well, I would if I was filming, but doing this show's quite different. It's sort of broader strokes in a way. So I don't really. It's kind of weird because in this show you've got to go from one character to another in like 5 seconds. So isn't the whole idea of getting into character is quite different to how you would be if you were filming it. Goodbye, fans. Beautiful, isn't it? You can't stop thinking about it for the next like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hi.
How was the crowd, David?
It was great. Manchester, Friday night. Fantastic. I really enjoyed it, I think. They were very appreciative. And it's good because it makes, you know, when they're laughing, it makes you feel funny. And then you sort of are funnier. If no one's laughing, you feel very unfunny. It's weird. Anyway, so it was
Must be
great.
your worst nightmare, isn't it? No one laughing.
Well, yeah. But no, I really enjoyed tonight.
Did you hear that Disney World has been closed down?
No.
Yes, it's true. Health and Safety found a 5-foot mouse running around. See, that's why we don't really tell jokes. I mean, just to put this into perspective, viewer, it's freezing on this boat. It's really cold. I mean, it's a beautiful day. No complaints. Here we are in sunny Brighton. It's fantastic, but it's very, very cold. And, you know, I can't really feel my face very much. So what it must be like for them, I don't know. Well, I do know cold. That's what I'm saying. Very, very cold.
So how well do you know David?
I've met him 3 times. I'm quite a big fan, actually. Well, me and Dave met in 1990, and we've been writing together and working together since '94. So we have a sort of probably quite a brotherly relationship in a way. David is an incredibly disciplined person, incredibly determined, and when we write, you know, he's the guy who's very good at kind of driving it. Come on, and you know, he's always very punctual and he's very organised, and he's, you know, like I say, he's very disciplined and determined. So if anybody could pull this off, I think it could be him. Oh, I've just thought of a funny idea. Have you got a pen? I just wanted to write down a... Got a pen? Just completely self-absorbed, do you know what I mean? Completely wrapped up in that. You know, what about me? Thought of something funny, I want to write it down. It's just...
I could see him as the next James Bond. He'd make a great James Bond, would David? He's always been interested in the James Bond. He's always had seen all the films, got all the DVDs or videos, and the books on it, so he could enter Mastermind and his subject James Bond, and I'm sure he'd get.
So he quietly fancies becoming the James Bond himself.
Well,
I don't know whether he does. I think
we'd like him to.
We'd
like
love him to be. I'd love him to
to
be the new
that
James Bond.
Bring it on. Bring it on, sir.
Hello. Ah, here he is. Hello,
Mike.
David. How are
I'm
you?
very well, thank you. How are you?
Why have I got to get into criminal? Is there some reason for this? And the rubber ducks in there to sort of make it kind of nicer for me. Yeah, well, that'd be lovely.
If you're a very proficient swimmer in an indoor pool, that counts for nothing when you get into cold water. Your performance is just absolutely destroyed by the impact of cold on nerves and muscle. The average response is the inability to control your breathing. And a wave comes across and you're breathing away at 66 breaths per minute. The chances of you taking water in and drowning are very, very significant. And you're happy, you know what's going to happen, David? You know what all these bits and pieces are?
So I'm happy, but I know what's going to happen.
Good, that's the important.
How do you feel, David?
Well, I like all the attention. I don't got to get in there. I feel like I'm in just like the credits for like, you know, $6 Million Man or something like that or something, you know what I mean?
This is the medical emergency kit. Is that when we go into very cold water, the potential for death is really very high. I mean, there's a bag full of it here. Effectively what happens is if his heart stops beating because of the cold, then they're going to have to restart the heart. And these are some of the drugs that are going to help that.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Feet in, down we go. Well done, David. That's good. That's very good. And here's the period, just here, where he goes into the water. You've got a big increase in his heart rate here, being shown there. You can see the heartbeats are coming closer together there. And he's taking big, fast breaths. That's hyperventilation. That's more ventilation than he needs. Now that's a pretty dangerous response, because if you're in choppy water or you're starting to try and swim, that's when you take in the water that once you get to about 1.5 litres of water, which is not really a very large breath in, you're at the sort of lethal limit for drowning.
It's actually oddly, it feels slightly hot. It feels like burning, slightly.
Well, once you get to the extremes of cold and heat, they do feel quite similar. Okay, well, let's get David out then in 2, 1, that's it. Well done, up you come. That's a really good effort, well done. That's got you shivering anyway, look. Well done, there we are.
It wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad, was it?
I wish I wasn't shivering though, because
That makes you feel very uncomfortable, shivering.
well, I just want to be more used to it than that.
Well, the thing about it, once you're in and exercising, the exercise will suppress the shivering.
The interesting thing is that he was only in there 5 minutes. And if you look at the level of shivering that he had, it's absolutely enormous. That's 5 minutes. He's going to be out there for 12 to 14 hours. So it gives you some sort of idea about how cold it's actually going to be.
Shall I move back, or shall you move forward? We begin our journey in the delightful seaside town of Oldhaven, home of the unconvincing transvestites, Emily and Florence.
Morning. Afternoon. 2 ladies on a bicyclette, that is all. Not men. Definitely not men.
They pedal, but the tandem is actually on a slow-moving track, thereby allowing the pair to travel at a slow pace. Eventually a house comes into view, the bike stops.
What a delightful afternoon. Oh, yes, Florence. There's nothing I enjoy more than cycling on the prom in our ladies' dresses and booties and lace gloves and shit.
I like to wear some ladies' clothing now and again. Beg your pardon. In fact, I'm wearing some now.
The plumber easily opens his boiler suit to reveal bra, stockings and suspenders.
Well, what do you reckon?
Pervert. I think it's fine just to be walking, and then if we're walking on the spot and the thing's moving, I go nearly there because it's like
You
it's
don't
stupid.
need it.
We're not moving.
Why would you stop and say nearly there?
No, it doesn't need to
You don't need it to stop.
But I just thought
You should
I'd say that
nearly
because
there.
it's a technical thing.
Yeah.
We've said that
Yeah.
the thing stops, and I don't know why we've written that because I don't think it's right.
Oh, by the way, I like your dress. Do you? Yeah. You're lovely in it.
Oh, he said they look lovely.
You all right? Flop it out, yeah? Good man.
Pardonnez-moi. Oh, it's all right. I know the game, guys.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I like to wear ladies' clothing now and then. In fact, I'm wearing some right now. What do you reckon?
Pervert.
You see, this would be fine for Matt, and Matt could get in this one.
That's
This is what we wanted, yeah.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah, we should take this back and see if it fits Matt, because if it does, I mean, it will fit him in some way, won't it? It's not that tight.
Is it in two pieces? Or is it in
It's
one?
got a kind
It's
of
just
lining.
attached
Oh,
to
no.
it. No, it is. It's attached to that. I don't know if it'll fit. You can try, can't
Might
you?
do, but
What do you think of it, David?
quite like it. I've always said I quite like dressing women's clothes, so I quite like it. It's what I do now. I just feel quite comfortable. It feels quite nice. It's not like a pervy thing. It's just nice. It's a nice feeling. It's just the fabrics, women's fabric. You know, the silks and this. Just feel nicer close to the skin.
Kill the sound.
Though I wouldn't like to wear one of those the G-string.
Have you never tried a G-string?
Oh no, a G-string. Some of the final gigs we're doing, like we're doing sort of 3 nights at Nottingham Arena, and the final one isn't sold out, so it's about us trying to sell the tickets.
Okay. So, he's always out on the town. He's forever in the newspapers and the magazines. Do you enjoy that?
I like it because then I can see what he's been up to. You know,
don't
who's he been out? Oh, he's been out with Edwina Curry this week. Oh, he's been out with Baroness Thatcher that week. Who's he dating now? So I like it because I can catch up with it.
Well, the funniest ones were Marty McCutcheon. I was dating Marty McCutcheon, though I'd never met her, which I quite liked. Another thing, it said his previous girlfriends include Kate Moss. I thought, oh, I've done well. I didn't realise I'd been out with Kate Moss.
Am I okay to?
Yeah, sure.
Click
In
on?
Nottingham tonight.
Who are your favourite characters to play? Which comedians do you particularly like working with? Do you ever look back and think, oh, maybe that was a bit close? Or do you ever feel like you go too far?
I think if it's still funny, it's all right.
What better note
It's all
to
right,
finish
it's a
on
pleasure.
Yeah.
than Will Young?
Young's trousers being pulled down.
Thank you very much.
It's really lovely to meet
Really
you.
nice to meet you, and hopefully you'll come and see us. They don't quite pick up on what you've just said. You just go, oh, and pull Will Young's trousers down. Okay, well, thank you. Sort of thing. There isn't really another.
Have we cleared the dictaphone away yet? Has it been found?
The dictaphone's still there.
Still there, still running.
It's still running.
So I don't think
Ignore everything that's been said now that you've left the room.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
For that.
Oh my god, that's awful. Oh my god, that's awful because I just slagged her off.
Oh dear. That is quite funny, isn't it? You got to laugh.
This is the best bit, isn't it?
No, the best bit's to come yet, mate.
The what?
Best bit's to come yet, and we've got to turn the cameras off.
What's the best bit? Where would you be greasing? Between the legs?
Yeah, so can you lift your bits up, please? That's it, that's my boy.
Yeah. What are you doing, mate? Can I have a bit more there, please? Because I do get quite a lot of chafing there. Yeah. Oh dear. What we do for sport relief, eh?
That's right, that's right. Come on, let's raise a lot of money, mate. That'll be alright. Okay?
There we are, thank you very much.
Are you ready to order food there, or are you still people think?
I think so. What flavour milkshakes have you got?
Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Do a banana one for you if you like as well.
We want potato wedges with cheese, Professor.
Yes, indeed. Lots of cheese if we can.
Right, okay. But I'm going to get very fat.
No, and you know,
because I'm going to be in my trunks, you see, in front of millions of people.
Right, and you don't want to embarrass
too
yourself.
fat.
No, there's absolutely no chance of getting that fat
Really?
because the training load is so high. It's going to be a real struggle to put any fat on at all. But in general, the successful open water swimmers do tend to carry some fat or a lot of fat.
The fatties.
The fatties.
They're big fat fatties.
But importantly as well is actually that they're more buoyant as well. So,
Right,
so with
fatties.
fat comes buoyancy. So you actually get a better body position. So everything you put in your mouth is actually going to be a bonus when you're actually crossing the channel.
Not everything.
You keep that to yourself.
Sorry, that was for you, wasn't it?
Lovely, thanks.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Now it begins.
Oh god, this is quite thick, this actually.
This is pretty thick. Woo.
That's nice, isn't it?
It's got some calories in there.
Beef bison burger.
Lovely, thank you.
Full rack of ribs.
Avoid the bread, avoid the salad, basically avoid anything that's good for you. So the ribs themselves actually do carry quite a lot of fat. There's not an awful, as you'll see, there's not an awful lot of meat on there.
That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
So I could eat the 10 of those. Those.
Chocolate browns.
That's quite nice.
Good, well, good.
Had a really sweet tooth, was it, as well?
Two looking at each other for a bit, yeah, that's it.
I feel that hopefully, I just thought this is a big dramatic thing, isn't it? You've never really seen anybody kind of off the telly attempt something quite as stupid as this. So I'm hoping that people go, oh, okay, must be something important and give some money. They didn't tell me all the bad bits at once. Like the middle of the channel, there's loads of sewage. I only was told that after about 6 months of training. Just imagine if they told me straight away, I might have gone, oh, I won't bother.
Are you not a fan of poo?
No. I like it in comedy, but not. Greg said I might have a bit of Mars bar occasionally.
Well, can I recommend, I like a topic. Twix is nice. M&S do these wonderful little chocolate eclair sweets.
Oh, yes.
Which is delightful.
We'll have something that lasts a long time, like a Murray Mint or something like that.
A bonbon. A channel bonbon.
No, so it's quite hard to actually eat when you're treading water.
Jolly Ranchers, they're nice.
Yeah.
Are you worried about Jaws?
I'm not, because I think there hasn't been a great white shark in the channel, so I think I'll be all right. But there'll be lots of jellyfish.
Really?
So I'm likely to get stung by that, yeah. It's not going to be very pleasant. It's going to be the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life. Yeah, so this is it. It's like 9 o'clock the night before. It's been 6.5 hours. Got to start getting ready to do it. I'm actually quite excited now, actually. I'm quite elated. That's one of my Showbills pals texting me to wish me luck. I hope it's someone famous. Richard Madeley.
So the nerves have gone now?
Well, I'm nervous, but they've turned into excited nerves, you know, now. I mean, I was just horrible waiting, but now I know it's got to happen. I've got to do it, so, you know, I just need to get ready and pack my bag and go and do it, and then this whole nightmare will be over. Oh.